handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another delightful, delectable, and otherwise entertaining episode of TigerTails Radio. I'm your host, TK, and if you look on the webcam, you should see an angel duck song.
Hello.
Unless, of course, you're listening to the radio feed, in which case you can't.
You can hear me.
And if all is going well, there should also be a Xavier.
Nice. Hello.
Hello, Xavier.
You sound a bit
Where's
husky.
Felis?
He's not coming tonight.
No, he's
tending the poorly. He himself is not poorly, but he is tending to those who are. And so we shall be without Felis for the duration of tonight, it is sad to say. But that doesn't matter. Well, that's okay, because there's Mr. Alex there, so you two can talk about Destiny all night, and I can sit in the corner and have a wank. It's fine. Problem solved. So, yes, it is just us three tonight, as we say. It is TigerTails Radio Season 8, Episode 28, which I need to get into the channel, because I haven't actually logged into the channel properly yet.
at least you got it on the YouTube this time. You didn't have that last time.
Yeah, I actually got it right. Check me out, my big bad self. And we actually have people in channel. Hello, people in channel! Hello, Anadesian, and hello, DJ, who is currently hiding on the thing. And can I hear myself echoing? No, I can't yet.
No.
Get ready, because I'm about to. As I load our YouTube feed, just so I've got a window into Alex's world.
Without
It's
Felis,
working.
I have actually arranged it so that I can talk looking at the camera.
Holy crap.
But I can actually be heard. It's brilliant.
Dun dun dun! I've no idea what the camera positioning is for me. I'm going to try moving it slightly. Oh, that doesn't work. Don't quite have enough cable for that.
Yeah.
I've got to be very careful with what I do. And now go to my subscriptions. I'm on YouTube. Work for me. Why is the TigerTails Video thing still not showing up? This bloody useless YouTube bullshit. TigerTails Space Radio. There we go. Live now. This is the bit where I start playing the episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I don't get to mute it in time. Mute! Shut up, be silent! Yeah, there we go. Always me with my moving the camera.
There's always
a lot.
one.
Yeah, it's always me. Actually, I wonder what we sound like. Be careful with what I do. No, we still got that fucking annoying, irritating hiss.
Yep. You're never going to get rid of it.
If you're listening to the YouTube feed, we're terribly sorry for the annoying, hissy me noise. It's the PC it's running on. We can't get rid of it.
Is it there when it plays back?
It's always there.
No, I mean when
Yeah.
you actually play it back on the video.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's permanent.
That is terrible.
The podcast feed, the ones who listen on the radio feed, they don't suffer that annoying noise. They get the crystal clean audio that we're supposed to be broadcasting. It's just the YouTube feed. And it's because the PC running the YouTube feed is a piece of crap from Maplin's.
Ooh.
Blah. So, and Anadesian says, please listen to the Winamp stream via iPad. Oh, good luck.
Oh.
The Winamp stream is your crystal clear audio stream, so congratulations on choosing the superior choice.
And
You
it's-
actually hear TigerTails Radio as the radio show that it was originally intended.
That's weird.
What?
That we're a radio show.
Yes.
Why is that weird?
Since when have we been a radio show?
Since the start.
No. I
Since
mean,
the
like,
20th of
considering how we've moved on from technologies.
Yeah, we've always done radio.
No, I know we have, but I'm just saying.
It's like, okay, there's a pretty picture for the YouTube feed, saying we can't deliver the audio, but at least the picture is pretty. Well, it's Alex at the moment, but you get what you can.
Oh.
Oh, that's
And it's me.
deep. That is cheap.
It is cheap. It's like a $5 hooker. Cheap at half
And then
price.
there's Alex. Yes.
You're calling Alex a $5 hooker. Alex, would you hook for $5?
Hook what?
I believe the answer to that question then is yes.
That's a good question. Oh no, you see, because more bigger things could wield a bigger price, perhaps.
Yeah, I might be able to get $6.
Yeah. Or what you do is you take those $5 and you invest them in a feather duster and some slippers, and then you can charge $8.
Oh.
Yeah, you see, you've got to think about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
That's all how you do it.
And again, we're back to Skeletor. What the hell?
Next time, He-Man. That wasn't Skeletor, that was something else entirely. I have no idea what the hell that was. Oh well, so yes, it is that time of the show where we didn't break anything.
Hooray.
I'm terrified. Something has got to have gone wrong somewhere. I don't trust it. I don't trust it one teeny tiny bit. Just a good show. I don't need a pop card. Indeed. Which is just about because I haven't got one. No, like I say, it's really kind of worked. I don't believe it. I don't like it. It's not... No! I refuse to believe everything is working properly as it should be. There must be something I can break.
Don't say that now.
In the meantime, why don't you, Mr. Xavier, tell us about your week?
Yay, my week.
No, someone
My
else.
week
Yes,
has
your week.
mostly been filled with work again.
That seems to be a recurring theme I've noticed.
Yeah, this is what you get when you have, a salary.
Look at us three.
This...
All of the cast members are salarymen today.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which is scary because we don't have the slacker anymore.
Not today.
No.
He has departed to tend the needy. He's not dearly departed. That's a very different thing entirely.
Absolutely. But yeah, my week mostly filled with work. It was the last week of overtime, we think, for a little while. So
no more overtime for you.
For now, we're expecting it to kick back in because it was like the first little manager huddle where they talk about the availability and chances of not hitting service level. You amble past there and they've got this colour chart to show times when it would be
busy.
Yeah, harder work. And they use green things and red things to designate it. So you walk past and you just see a board with mostly red, and you sit there and go, overtime's going to be coming back soon.
You see, we see a board mostly red, and we just know it's going to be a busy day. And it always is. Is it a day of the week ending, and why? Yes. It'll be busy then. Even your weekends.
It wasn't busy, but there were times when there were more people queuing than there should have been. Because it's workforce management. I have no idea what the crack those people smoke, but they never seem to get it right.
No.
During my free time, because I've actually managed to have some free time, which was nice.
Really? Shit, when did that happen?
Yeah. Haha.
They're not working you hard enough, obviously.
I know, right?
Obviously.
What a slacker. Looks like we got somebody for the position.
Yeah. I've been catching up with Mentalist Season 3.
You are behind.
I know, you said that last time.
You are behind.
It's bad because I've got Arrow Season 3 apparently coming. I've got Defiance Season 2 and The Flash, which is coming out. And it's like S.H.I.E.L.D. started. And I'm sat there going, time! But yeah, I've been catching up on that, and I've been also playing a fair bit of Destiny. I did my let's have a look at the forums most of last week for Destiny.
Oh, right, forums. You have
Wow, it took him 8 minutes, 7 minutes and 50 odd seconds before he started talking about Destiny.
I know, right? Jeez, I've already...
I thought it would be about 2, so I'm surprised you managed to hold off.
It's the forums that make me laugh, because it's the biggest bunch of people who play more hours than I do that are bitching about the game. It's always, I've played 100 hours and now I'm bored, and I'm sat there thinking,
what? No,
I've played 40
and now
across
I'm bored.
a month.
Oh, it's Destiny been out already?
It's been out for 3 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah. And people are saying, I've played 100 hours, I've done everything, I'm bored. I've got games I've not touched.
That's kind of terrifying. It's only been out for 3 weeks and people have put 100 hours into it already.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, some of them have done even more than that, because it's literally they're saying 8-hour sessions a day, and I'm sat there thinking, what are you, unemployed?
Students.
More than likely, yeah. Unemployed students. God, how many students do you know that are actually employed? Precious few.
The smart ones, yeah, the smart ones usually.
Yeah. Exactly.
Everybody else lives off the bank of mum and dad.
Exactly. And even when you're in job, some people still do.
I know.
Because quite frankly, that's the bank that doesn't give you the interest rates.
Ridiculous.
Unless your parents are set a certain way, yeah.
Yeah.
My weekend, I saw Julia Friday night, Saturday. I then bimbled down and saw you guys Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And we saw Alex's girlfriend, and I had visual confirmation she exists.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need that too.
Aww. Just to believe that he still has one.
I also saw visual confirmation that Alex really does act like a dick.
Well, in all fairness, yeah, it was hilarious. But, I thought it went rather well for a bunch of kind of introverted nerds who don't really go out much speaking to people to be introduced to another person who was quite shy and quiet and who sat there quietly and didn't kill each other. So I thought that went quite well.
Yeah, it went very well.
What was hilarious was when Hedgie came in and then acted shy.
Yeah.
I thought, wait, what?
It's like you were just showing off your man nipples, so he covered them up with his arms.
I was like, why are you covering them up, Hedgie? This isn't like you at all.
Because there's a lady present.
To clarify, he walked out into the living room in just a towel.
Pokemon towel.
With Pikachu on his ass. Says everything!
That makes it so much better. Oh, yeah, and then Alex decided to bring up Shrek's life, and...
Shrek is love.
Shrek is love.
I'd successfully blanked that out until he brought that fucking shit up.
Hey, it's all ogre now.
It's never over.
Oh,
Christ.
Hilarious. I still like YouTubers react to that. That was brilliant.
You know, I'm going through these game websites and they're
You're
terrible.
desperately scrabbling for news, aren't you?
No, they're terrible. When I want to open a tab on my tablet, it doesn't work. It's like, nope.
So you've just got to let then?
A what?
Well, it won't open up tabs on your tablet. You've just got to let.
Yeah, I've got to let.
Oh.
It's really irritating because like, I don't want to open up multiple instances of the page and go scroll through it every single time.
No, of course not.
Unfortunately, that is what I have to do.
That's the way the website's coded.
Because they can't. Well, I don't know what.
Because dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
I thought you had the Twitter feed for that, though.
Yeah, there's not much on it in the past couple of days.
I thought you followed like 20 billion gaming sites just so you could get some content on there.
I don't follow gaming sites. I follow actual. That's
the
for
developers.
actual developers.
I see. That makes logical sense.
Yes. So I can actually get the information from the source.
Yeah, I mean, you can't trust gaming sites after Gamergate, can you? So they really shed their colours.
It also means I can actually have more of an opinion on what the actual game websites say, because they may say one thing, but then I read the tweet and think to myself, well, actually, I interpret it this way, considering previous tweets or previous actions the company has done.
And I saw a video on YouTube last night, and it was Kadikarus who was able to go and play some of Alien Isolation.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it looks like a really good game, actually. It really does. So, one I'll never ever play because it's not my kind of game, but it does look like a really interesting game for those who enjoy that kind of genre. It's like, yeah, we did survival horror. We did it properly. And certainly better than Alien Clone of Wolverines, whatever it was called. Words I cannot say. Mostly because the words of those games won't leave my lips without vomit. So, Mr. Alex, how's your week been?
Another uneventful week, really. One of my colleagues is leaving at work, but he's moving departments, so he's not actually leaving.
I've got a couple doing that as well. It's sad.
That means I've got more work to do.
Oh, good. That way you can actually look busy at work for once.
I am busy.
Yeah.
It's just I have to look after stuff until a new person is hired and trained, and then they can have their shit back. And I'll be like, yep, nope, no, I'll stick with my stuff. You stick with yours. But other than that, it's just been so quiet. I haven't done anything on the weekend. I went out shopping for winter stuff.
Shopping
for winter stuff. That is actually the main highlight of my week. I didn't go meet up with my friends like I normally do. Monday was obviously here, and every other day than that, no, I didn't go out or do anything.
Christ, that's because you were playing Destiny, though, in all fairness.
No, it wasn't even just because I was playing Destiny. It's because I had nothing better to do. In fact, I wanted to go out on Wednesday to my friends, but it didn't happen.
Why not? I thought that was a weekly, regular thing.
The one person who drives finished work at 8, and he can be a bit of a...
Bear with a sore head?
A what?
Bear with a sore head.
Yes.
That's a polite way of putting it.
Yes. So, like, so we were like, whatever then. Because, unfortunately, the friend we go round lives quite a bit away
in Maybush.
Yes. And
we all the distance.
We all live on the other side of the city.
There totally isn't a billion buses that go to Maybush.
Yeah, but when we finish at like 11, 12.
Well, they go to like 6 on the way back. I mean, the 3, I think, goes past roughly where you go, and it doesn't finish until like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but then it takes ages to get home, and it's like... Plus, there are people who do live in Britain, and it's quite a distance for them.
That's what taxis are there for. They're just cheap.
So we called it off, unfortunately, even though we didn't want to. And I literally I have nothing interesting. I've been really boring. The only thing I can think of that I've confirmed now is I've taken time off work in December, and I am indeed going to America this
Hey!
because someone's going, and so someone else looked at the prices and went, actually, what, £280 return from Birmingham? Well, yeah, for Philadelphia, you're still going to America. It's like something ridiculously wrong with that. I wonder if the plane actually flies. But no, it's a simple case of.
You do me a favour when you're in the States.
What?
If you see an American video game store thing that sells the USA version of DDR,
you want
on PS1.
Oh, okay.
Or PS2, I don't care which, but the PS1 one is actually Dance Dance Revolution USA edition. It was just called Dance Dance Revolution, but it was actually DDR American edition. And yeah, I'd like a copy of that, please, if we can.
If there are any in Philadelphia at all, I'll ask the people I know there. But
Probably not. It's a long shot, but you're the only person I know going to the States anytime soon, so
it's worth trying.
yeah, it's worth a go. I can imagine it'd be fairly cheap in America because no one else wants that anymore now.
Yeah, so I've just been arranging that now. But that's really kind of boring.
Oh, look, I'm booking a holiday. It's really boring.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say it, the booking holiday part, yeah, that's boring.
I find it really enjoyable. It's like I'm going to browse through all of the hotels. Okay, what do you do? What do you do? Ooh, you're expensive, but you've got nice looking shower units and beds and baths and things. And you look nice, but your shack pile looks terrible. I'm not sure it's not staying in you. Oh, those curtains. Oh, what were you thinking?
Whereas I'm the economist and go, how cheap are you? I don't care. Do you have a shower and do you have a bed? The bed doesn't really work. I'll take it.
The bed doesn't have to be in the shower, but you get bonus points for doubling it up. That way I can just wake up and shower.
And then go and do whatever I want to do.
Exactly.
My goal on holidays is never to stay in a hotel or never to actually enjoy the luxuries of a hotel because there's no point. I would rather spend my time out doing things.
I would rather enjoy the luxuries of the hotel for the half hour it takes me to get back to the hotel and go to sleep. Because I don't want to be living in shite for that. I live in shite here. I go on holiday to get away from the shite.
You go on
so I want a bit of plush luxury in the hotel, even though if I'm not going to be staying there long.
You go on a holiday on British territory, though. So.
Yeah. I holiday in Britain. I'm one of these people who keeps the British economy running by holidaying in Britain. Not taking all my money overseas.
Elitist.
Elitist. Just too poor to travel. It's like, yeah, I'm spending 200-300 quid on flights, and I'm going, yeah, that was my entire holiday, including travel. So, yeah. Although I wouldn't mind a day trip. That would be quite nice, but I have to get my passport renewed because I haven't done that for years. My passport is well out of date. And I'm thinking, would I really need a new picture? And if I do, who the hell do I get to sign it? Because I don't know anyone important enough to sign passport pictures anymore.
You don't?
No.
You only need to get it signed if you
Drastically changed since the last one.
Yeah.
Well, I've got less hair on the top and more hair on the bottom. So, not sure. That sounds like Pete leaving the hangout.
No, I'm still there.
Peter is no longer presenting.
Huh. Well, you can always go to an official such as your doctor.
Sometimes they charge though, and I haven't seen my doctor in bloody decades.
They don't charge.
I'm probably not even on his books. Yes, some do. Some doctors will charge you because you're not actually looking for medical attention. So they'll actually charge you for the time.
Well, then I would say, meh.
Bag of dicks.
Go to your bank.
Can banks do it?
Yeah, bank officials are allowed to sign on behalf of. They're allowed to countersign for you.
Yeah.
So if you go there and you
that's okay then.
Ask them, is it okay if you sign for my passport? They should do it.
Yeah, I'll take it to customer service.
Seen as they are in a position like that allows them to basically see, I know this person as this person because they hold an account with us and we've seen their credentials. Obviously, they're not always correct. I mean, some people bring us fake credentials, but majority of the time they're correct.
I'm honest and trustworthy. You can sign for me.
Honest, I'm not mafioso at all.
Pete, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. It was just saying, you're not presenting. I'm worried. And I was like, it's broken again. Fuck's sake.
It's broken.
Nothing's broken.
Just as well. I can see you're getting a lovely picture of my mic stand.
Yeah, your mic stand is awesome there.
Anyway, let's see if I can move the camera somewhere more interesting. There we go. How about we just make you watch the feed?
Cool.
You can see what I see with minimal of lag. Oh wait, you're saying the YouTube feed. That's even laggier. Let's pick it up there and wait till it falls down again. Oh, there's the wide-angle lens falling off. Now everything's blurry for you. You see, Pete communicates to us via Google Hangout. So I could potentially add someone else to Google Hangout. You see, look at my nipples. There you go.
Please don't.
See my chin.
We're having technical difficulties.
Nah, it's just an internal camera. It's nothing.
We're having technical difficulties.
Nothing customer facing. Oh, that phrase made me just puke. So yeah, what you could do actually, I suppose, to people is like watch the YouTube feed but have it muted and listen to the radio feed so you get the better sound quality. The audio and video might not perfectly sync up, but I don't think there's going to be that much action tonight, so I don't think it really matters too much.
Nah, well.
Novels! Anyway, my week, since Alex seems to have finished his week. As you know, I spent last weekend playing with Steam Trains, so this weekend was spent not playing with Steam Trains. And it was so different and so sad. And spent most of Saturday just chilling out, maxing, relaxing and cooling and doing bugger all, which I liked. And then we had a Xavier appear.
Hooray!
And so we did some more nothing. And then on Sunday, there was games. So many games. And then we had a visitation from the Alex and the girlfriend who came along and said, hi!
And then didn't say much after that.
No, because I was too busy gaming.
No, well, she's just like that as well, around new people.
Yeah, I think all of us are, so... I mean, we managed to have brief conversations with her, so I think progress was made. It wasn't a complete blowout. But, yeah, I think it's as good as we were going to get, though, in all fairness, with meeting people, because none of us meet people well for the first time, do we? So
True, I suppose.
it was like, yeah, we don't know what to say, nobody knows what to say, but look, gaming, so let's all just concentrate on that, because we're gamers. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, interaction. We do it. We're terrible. We are terrible people.
Yes, we are.
But we're so good at it. Might change the habit of a lifetime. But yeah, my week has been mostly involving work. Work has been hard this week and busy. Very, very busy. After last week, it didn't let up. It didn't let up at all. It got busier. Today wasn't too bad, but this week at work has just been manic. But we survived. I'm still here, still breathing, I think. Just. Unless I'm a ghost. Who can press buttons, so that doesn't work. Very hairy ghost. Ghost with a beard and then some. But yeah, not much has happened this week. It's been, well, I caught up on, finalised on all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Series 2 from Nickelodeon. That was
Bloody hell.
That was pretty enjoyable. What do you mean, bloody hell? I had to wait. I had to wait for them to finish airing it. I'd caught up about 3-4 weeks before the end. And so I had to kind of go sit there and go, damn it, hurry up and air the rest of the episode, you bastards! And in the end, Nickelodeon got round to it, so I was able to watch them, and really, really, really good. If you haven't yet seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 series 1 and 2, just do it. However you need to do it, just do it. It's brilliant, especially if you're a fan of the 80s series, because they do reference that every now and again. It's worth it. In fact, they reference so many other Turtles things in this. So if you're a hardcore Turtles fan, you will pick up on so many references. And even if you're just a light fan, you will still get quite a few of them.
A light fan.
A light fan of the Turtles, yeah. It's a thing, shut up. And I've been listening to Rob Paulson's podcast as well, because he's the voice of Pinky in Pinky and the Brain, Donatello in the New Turtles, and Raphael in the 80s Turtles, as long as many other things, including Wacko, I think. No, Yakko. Yeah, Yakko. Because Jess Harnell was Wacko. So many voice actors, so little time. They're really nice people, though. So I've been, catching up on his podcasts, including one with Mark Hamill.
Hey.
I saw a film, which I'm going to talk about for Done and Dusted, called The Brave Little Toaster. Because it's one of those things that people say, you really ought to see this at some point. It's got nightmare fuel. And I was going, yeah, whatever. Oh, shit, there is nightmare fuel in this. Glad I didn't see this when I was a kid, because that would have fucked you up. It's like Watership Down. It says, universal, suitable for all on the box. Bullshit. Not suitable for all. Not suitable for all at all. But yeah, that'll be a little bit later on there. And what else did I do? Oh, Train Sim updated as well. That was nice. And I need to get off my ass and edit the videos together I took at the Severn Valley Railway last week. All in all, though, a quite nice week. And now I get to enjoy a few days of Hedgie being off work. Yay. And I still got 2 free cinema tickets which I need to make use of. So I need to go and find something good to watch in the cinema. If anything. Is there anything good anymore?
At the moment, I don't think so.
No, I thought not. Dieter's like, oh, not a new film then. No, of course not. I don't see new films. Behave. Got to be at least 30 years old before I give half a shit. I mean, a film I saw the other week was The General, and that was an old Buster Keaton film in black and white before they actually spoke. So, yeah, Google that one. See its release date. I'll tell you. I think it may now be nearing 100 years old if it hasn't already passed that. Which says everything, really.
Pretty much.
So yeah, that was my week. Actually, quite a full, almost a full week, really. What the shit happened? Oh. I sound like I've been busy.
You have.
You have.
It's this weird thing that happens every so often. You actually have things to do in your week other than work.
I don't like it. It feels weird, and I don't like it.
Get used to it.
Make it go away.
I can't.
I've got NaNoWriMo to do. I don't have time to be busy.
Trying to make it go away actually makes you even more busier.
Well, shit. Can't win this one. I've got a month now to prepare for NaNoWriMo. I am fucked. I am nowhere near ready for NaNoWriMo this year. And I was starting prep back in July, maybe June-ish. And I'm still nowhere near ready. Yeah, you could laugh. I don't see you doing NaNoWriMo.
Strange, that.
Yeah, you just call yourself a writer. You can write anything for bloody ages and you can do. You have to spell it.
I figured I was wrong with my tablet. It's every time I try and hold over something to open a new tab, it doesn't on the web browser. So I'm thinking, what's causing this?
I don't know. What is causing this?
I don't know.
It's your tablet. You figure it out.
It has no hold button. Hold button does nothing.
The button does nothing.
You see, I want to move on to the gaming news section, but A, I don't think Alex is ready, and B, I don't want him muted Turners because I quite like this song that's playing in the background at the moment.
I can try to. It just might be I won't have a lot of news pieces because I had nothing during the week, and unfortunately looking for news now is really difficult because I have to look at one web page at a time.
Oh.
Now, this piece of backing music, I don't play it loudly very often. I really should do because it's really quite awesome. But made by Sanction 7, who provides all of our backing music because he's awesome. But this actually featured on Dance Dance Revolution Supernova 2 because Sanction 7 won our competition that Konami hosted to get your music in the game. Fuck yeah! Furries and DDR, bitch! In official DDR releases. And that's Pete quit. Pete obviously doesn't like this song.
Yeah, we don't need him anyway.
So let's take advantage of the situation so we can't talk over the jingle and go to the gaming news. He says, why is my jingle not working? Why you no play?
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
Fuck you, I'm playing the other jingle now.
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
Going in the middle of my jingles. You're supposed to be quiet, Pete, not make sound effects.
Sorry.
God, we even started playing it because you'd gone. We thought we got this moment now so we won't talk in the jingle. So what do? He comes and makes bloody sound effects.
You know,
can't win.
Looking through these news pieces, it's actually nice to see that BBC has officially recognised the nude leak of celebrities as the fappening.
Have they?
On the website.
Have they actually done that?
It's actually said, as we look into the fappening.
I love you, BBC. You are amazing. Actually, the BBC is starting up a whole programming thing as well to try and encourage kids to get into programming.
Yeah, I saw that. That was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think I've got that right now for news. So
they started that about 4 weeks ago, I think. And it's an amazing idea. I am actually quite impressed with this, and people are getting on board and supporting it. So, yay, people.
I think mine might be slightly separate then.
Okay, what have you got then?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let Pete go. He's ready. I'm just gonna get everything else.
He says ready. I'm here. That's about as much ready as I get.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go for something simple then. Okay. It seems that Microsoft has beaten Sony for the launch in China. So the Xbox One will be coming out before PS4, I believe. So, seeing as China has only recently opened up its doors to console gaming, as before it was heresy, and you could not have dirty foreign consoles polluting the minds of our children so that they may sit inside and play games all day. Oh, sounds like China at the moment.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, so it seems that they've they've launched it for the same price as you would over here, but ever since the 14-year ban was lifted in January, it seems that both consoles have been rushing to try and produce enough and then market to the humongous potential base they have there now that they've got like 1 billion more people to market to. Or something ridiculous like that.
Ah, hello, Pete.
Hello.
Your webcam has just appeared.
Yes, I know.
Hello.
And because
I can see Pete now in real time. Oh, he's gone again. Oh.
yeah, and because Microsoft have obviously been the punch, they've got the slight advantage, which is kind of reminiscent of the.
He's gone again. Useless.
It's kind of reminiscent of before when the Xbox 360 launched before the PlayStation 3. However, I don't think the gap will be nearly as big. And currently, a lot of games are still banned in China just because.
Really?
Yes.
So the console's fine, but you can't play anything on it.
Well,
Hi, Pete.
A lot of popular titles it's listed here, such as Call of Duty, will still be banned.
Oh, duh. That can make kind of sense.
So it's anything with bones in it will never be has to be censored because China has this thing against bones, just being like.
So no Zays extras for them then.
No. Literally, none of their media or games or anything has bones showing. It's just taboo.
Damn.
And but they're talking about things like Minecraft. It's like,
But Minecraft's got bones in it.
yeah, I know.
There are skeletons. And they drop bone meal.
And
they don't drop it.
they're talking about how, because Microsoft has got the upper hand now, they might try and market Minecraft to the Chinese markets because it's not really being exposed to them as much as it should have been, compared to like the most of the rest of the world where everybody and their mother seems to know and play a bit of Minecraft every now and then. So I can only assume that Microsoft are going to try and take the advantage here now that they also have brought what's the studio called? Mojang.
Mojang.
Mojang. Yeah, so that's a little bit of interesting news there. While I'll let Pete do something, or you, TK.
I've got a bit of news. It's a bit of news that made me exceedingly happy in the face. In fact, it made me very, very, very happy in the face.
Oh.
Remember Wipeout?
Yes.
Remember that awesome game Wipeout that first started life on the PlayStation 1 and sold consoles for PlayStation 1, maybe PlayStation 2, and then came out with Wipeout HD and Wipeout Fury on the PS3, as well as Wipeout Pulse and Pure and Wipeout 2048 on the portable Sony consoles. And then Sony closed the studio that was responsible for making them. Wankers. Well, some of those people have clubbed together to form R8 Games. Or Rate, potentially. I'm not sure. But they are coming together to create Formula Fusion. From the developers that brought you Wipeout comes the next generation of AG racing.
Or the previous generation.
Yeah, we're getting a new Wipeout game, boys and girls. They're currently in very, 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 very early development on it. And they're asking on a couple of forums for like gaming suggestions on things, how they could work it, what kind of physics we expect, things like that. Because they're basically making this for the fans. They want to make it as good for the fans as humanly possible. And they're taking into account a lot of fan feedback. In fact, I think the name even came from the fans as well, Formula Fusion. So it's one of those things where the development team are very much kind of in bed with the fan base going, look, you know what to expect. We know kind of what you want. But we want to make sure we get what you want exactly right so that you're very happy with our product. So tell us, give us your info, give us your feedback. And you can do that on their Facebook page, which is R8 Games on Facebook. You can go there and talk about Formula Fusion, see what you tell them what you expect from the game, tell them what you'd like, see what they can do. It looks very interesting. It seems that you can do some modifications to your vehicle. They do look a bit like Formula 1 cars as well, which is awesome, because it seems to be in that time gap between the FX leagues of the Wipeout series and F1. So like in the middle there. So yeah, anti-gravity racing is still very much in its infancy. I think they're going to have very many kind of like nods to Wipeout without actually mentioning Wipeout directly, so they can avoid lawsuits from Sony. But it seems that it's going to be taking the idea and taking it in a slightly different direction. And I'm interested to see where this goes, because I was a big fan of Wipeout. I was shit at it, but I was a big fan of Wipeout. So I'm looking forward to being shit at Formula Fusion as well. And that's coming in the distant future. Because the preview builds that they've been showing off, like they're literally just made for the videos pretty much so far. There's like, we've rendered a thing. What do you think? Here's some gameplay footage-ish. See what you think. What's it like? Tell us, Joey. We want to know. And it's coming along quite nicely. It does look rather shiny already in its kind of really kind of pre-alpha stage. And I'm thinking, if this is pre-alpha and it's this shiny, the finished product is going to fucking make me eyes bleed. And I can't wait. Make it faster, people. Make it faster. So, happy news for me there. Anyone else got anything?
I've got a few things. Let me just get my stuff back up.
Okay, I'll go while Pete's getting ready then.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
PlayStation Home is shutting down in March.
Oh, that was going to be my other piece of news.
Sony is closing the virtual world after 6 years, apparently, and this will be on March 31st, 2015. They've confirmed the social gaming platform will cease publishing new content on November 12th. The Japanese version preceded its European counterpart into obsolescence last year. Players will not be able to download content past December the 3rd. However, Sony plans to release substantial amounts of free content for the /game prior to its closure.
Awesome. So it's like they're going to go out with a bang.
Possibly. It said the service has hosted tens of millions of users from around the world since it's opened.
Mm-hmm.
I will have to say I did slate this a fair bit because I wasn't a Home fan at all, but I know TK enjoyed it.
I quite enjoyed it. There wasn't that much to do there, but you know, I liked it in its very early days because there were lots of like board games that you could just sit down and play with random people, things like chess and checkers and things.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome actually. It's
that
like
was quite nice.
Big way to communicate and socialize with people.
Yeah.
You could also go to the cinema and watch trailers.
Yeah, and you could also go to the bowling alley and queue to play virtual bowling.
I know, right? That was crazy.
That was ridiculous. It's like, why are we queuing for a virtual bowling lane? It's because it's busy. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why is it busy? It's virtual.
Why are there only 8 lanes? That's stupid. You could put as many fucking lanes in as you like. It's virtual. Even real bowling lanes have more than 8 cocking lanes in them. Jeez. But they had arcade machines around as well that you could play little mini games, including a little build of Echo Chrome, which I thought was awesome.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah. And Icebreaker, which was a little breakout clone, which I got good enough to actually win gear on. And a little railroad game as well, which is quite fun. So yeah, there was plenty of little games in Home. In fact, I think they actually released a kind of Home game player, so you could actually play the games outside of Home, which I thought was a nifty little thing. Just a little thing to give you that little touch in Home. And I've also got a TARDIS in Home as well, because I went to when the Doctor Who thing was being cross-promoted with Home, I went and actually did some of the things to get the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Because hell yeah, TARDIS. I think what really kind of nerfed PlayStation Home was their insistence that you had to be humans. And so all the furries could have like gone full-on Second Life again, except without the giant penises. And I think that could have helped it, because I can see when first getting into something, they generally stay quite loyal to it for a while, until it stops serving the purpose it was originally intended for. Services like LiveJournal. I recently went back to LiveJournal and put a post up to see if anyone was still there, and I was actually quite surprised by the amount of response I got from a lot of furs that were still there. Going, yeah, we're still here. Mostly lurking, but we're still here. And it's like, holy crap. So I was quite impressed. And I could have seen PlayStation Home being something very similar there if you could have just had non-human avatars. I think a lot of people would have stuck along with it a lot more. But their insistence on human avatars, I think, was a big mistake.
Well, I can understand why.
I can understand why as well.
To do it.
Because they saw the amount of giant penises in Second Life and didn't really want to go down that road, I'd imagine. But it's a shame to see it go. It was a nice thing to have on the PS3. And it's yet another PS3 service that they're now going to nerf and that people are going to bitch about, saying, oh, yeah, we buy this console for £400, then they go and take away all its features. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, stupid fucking people. I'll kill them all.
British. Never been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, alright, then I'll give some small little headliney bits then. Shadow of Mordor, which is coming out in a couple of weeks' time. £20 season pass gets you Sauron Fight DLC.
Really?
Really, unfortunately. I mean, it's common trend for things to have a season pass nowadays, but it's kind of getting a bit where all of the cool stuff kind of does happen in the DLC.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? Shouldn't this be in the main thing? I mean, it's kind of...
Yeah, well, we can release a £20 game and give you 20 quid's worth of DLC, or we can release the game for 40 quid and still give you 20 quid's worth of DLC.
I know, right?
And it's like, so yeah. And especially day one DLC.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of the day one DLC is stuff they're working on months in advance. So it's like, just put it on the fucking disc.
Seriously. If it's on disc, that means they have been working on it.
Oh yeah, if it's on disc DLC, that's even worse. Street Fighter.
Yeah. DLC that isn't on disc is usually being worked on during the period after they've gone to...
Not always, because if you look at some of the modern recent games, a lot of the day one DLC is naturally put into the promotional material for it as well and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So it's the down to the and say, yes, look, there's day one DLC, so you can extend your game straight away. Or why not put it on the fucking disc already, so that we can just extend the game when we bought the game? Yeah. How about that? Just make the fucking game longer by putting all that crap on the game.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like, if you've really had 12 months or so of the development cycle for this DLC that couldn't be possibly put on the disc because we were working on it after the disc was mastered, then you've been sitting on that disc for a shit ton of time, my friends. Get it out.
oh, my game reward points are going to run out. For fuck's sake.
Do they do that?
Yeah, apparently they do.
Oh, shit.
That's fine. I'll use it to buy Shadow of Mordor. Okay, Destiny Bug reveals expansion DLC that has been already promised. The first two expansions called Expansion 1 and 2.
That was an imaginative title.
So imaginative.
Working titles.
Yeah, final titles. It's revealed things that are locked currently because it's not out, but they've left it in code to sort of like on the maps and things where you can
support it.
Yeah, support it. So
yeah, the framework ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see, oh, this is what's coming, and it's been hastily removed from every source, but it's been leaked, so it's already out there. It can't be stopped now.
Can't put the genie back in that bottle, kids.
Nope. Fear Online gets an October Steam release date, and it's going to go free to play. It's apparently taking a Left 4 Dead approach, where 4 people team up as operatives hunting down Alma Wade. Yeah.
I never actually played Fear.
It's...
I own a couple of the Fear games because they were on the Humble Bundles,
Yeah.
but I've never actually played them.
I know it's a little late, but I only just realized that 2 weeks ago EA announced that one of the up-and-coming mobile games for them was SimCity Build It.
What?
So have fun for your paywalls and your endless hours required to build one building. That can be sped up if you buy some premium coins. Some EA bucks, if you know what I mean.
And a £120 million deal is the best value.
I know, right? You get all these bucks. After the fiasco with Dungeon Keeper.
I say Dungeon Keeper Diablo 3. You think they'd learn, wouldn't you?
You really would.
No.
Another quick thing. Free access online multiplayer for all PlayStation 4 players last weekend, which actually put a stop on some of the services.
Really?
Yes, the immense load of extra players for PlayStation 4 alone, because this isn't including PlayStation 3. This was for only PlayStation 4 players.
That's because you don't need Plus to play online on PS3.
Exactly. Yeah, it basically caused slowdown on PSN. It caused some buggy issues. They just weren't prepared for the load of people to all be on at once.
To go, hey, look, it's free. Suddenly, dump. Ah, shit, and everything fell over.
Yep. You
pretty much.
I myself experienced problem adding people and messaging people, where sometimes it would take up to 20 minutes to get a message back.
We had problems playing PlayStation Smash Brothers online.
Yes, that as well. Because don't forget that just because it's on PlayStation 4 doesn't mean it doesn't affect PlayStation 3 and PS Vitas because they run on the same framework.
Yeah, it's all on the same network.
Yeah.
We share the tubes, guys. We share the tubes.
We're all in this together.
But at least it shows that there were so many people playing FIFA 15 for free because you now have multiplayer that have to buy this time round.
But Pete, want to go ahead with anything?
FIFA 95 was the best.
I've got a few things. Starbreeze apparently is acquiring Studio Making Toys to Life game. And this is the Los Angeles-based Geminos, which has been bought for $7 million. So the Swedish company bought Geminos for $7 million in Starbreeze shares. Its upcoming franchise, also called Geminos, combines physical toys and interactive gameplay targeting at 5 to 12-year-olds in development for iOS, Android, and unspecified platforms.
Okay.
It's nice to see another one of those style of games being brought out that isn't by the big ones. The one for the Disney one and the Spyro one. It's nice to see another one that will come out, because maybe it'll then mean these bloody things get a bit cheaper.
No.
They do look lovely, though. Sony announces some news. They're hoping to raise PlayStation profit forecast. Game division is apparently the bright spot for the company's electronics arm, and this is our favourite host, Andrew House, who is hoping to raise the game division's profit outlook for the current fiscal year following strong PS4 sales and reduced hardware manufacturing costs. Following the publications of first quarter, Sony has increased its annual operating forecast for 25%, which is actually quite good.
That's a pretty good game.
I do feel we have an opportunity to build a higher ARPU, average revenue per user, than with the PS3, and that should make a very strong profit contribution over the life cycle.
Excellent.
Yeah. In August, Sony claimed PS4 sales had hit 10 million units. Xbox did also say that due to the price cut, they have outsold PlayStation this month? Not entirely sure.
I think they've still got like 3 million to go to catch up, though.
Monthly sales, yeah, in terms of global sales, probably. But then, like Alex mentioned, they've now released in China.
Yep.
I don't know how well any of the consoles are going to do in China, because, my God, are they strict. But
it's an entirely unexplored market, so we have no idea. We can only speculate.
Movements.
Yeah,
cautious movements.
Nothing risky is going to be taken here. It's just going to be very solid. They're going to do marketing like nothing amazing because they have no idea what will work.
Yeah. Although, if you've been watching BBC News, they were talking about the major internet provider in China, Abobo.
Yeah.
They're actually starting to look to export that outside of China.
What, internet?
The internet provider that they have there. He's the guy in charge isn't as communist focused as a lot of companies, and actually, whilst he gets support from the government, doesn't support the government in a lot of things. It was really interesting reading up on this, and it's the internet service provider for China.
The only one?
Possibly. It's China. Have you seen how restrictive they are?
I wonder how much speed they get over there.
Quite good.
Because that will have an impact on online play if they get a shoddy one. Are they going to have online play even?
Probably. But I don't know, because it's how they're going to implement the servers in
Is it going to be China only online play?
Probably. I mean, the China network is actually kind of different to ours. I mean, like, you can't access it, but, like, imagine you were to travel to China with your laptop and connect to the internet. It would be like internet light.
Yeah. It'll be like the internet slow lane on Comcast.
Yeah.
It'll be like, can I get Instagram now? No, you can't. Can I get Facebook now? No, you can't. Can I get Twitter now? No, you can't.
No. Oh well, that'll be
Political
interesting to watch on. World of Warcraft is adding an option to restore deleted characters.
Aha.
Who cares?
Excuse me, I'm just going to go to the lube. BRB.
Well, you say who cares, but this is kind of like you create a lot of characters and you may delete some to create some new ones because of all the hardcore people. But this is also a good way, I think, of if you get hacked and somebody fucks with your account, you no longer have to deal with Blizzard support, which can be kind of annoying sometimes.
Mm.
And another important thing is if you delete a character, it keeps the name.
Yeah, true. There is that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it's a big enough draw to get people back because they're still losing people.
Oh yeah, they're still leaking. They are bleeding. But this is part of the pre Warlords of Draenor, I think it is, patch or something.
Yeah, before then.
Yeah.
The last of the patches before everything goes completely nutso.
Until they they get an influx of people and then dead again, as you do. Now I have something else interesting. Wasteland 2 breaks 1.5 million revenue in 4 days. Now just to make sure that this is not sold, the amount of copies sold is the amount of money they have made in revenue.
Not bad.
It's really good, actually. Seeing as the Kickstarter was nothing like that, was it? They've definitely made a profit. I mean, in 4 days, and that's with the game retailing at £20, I believe, is the full price. Might even be 30. I'm not too sure.
Well, I don't think they had the equivalent of a AAA budget to make the game, so it's good to know that they're getting some money back, and at least it shows these kind of projects work.
Yeah, it is showing that Kickstarted games are just a thing now that will work. I mean, you can not always expect somebody to deliver on what they are promising, but nowadays you can actually say, okay, if I fund this project, more often than not, it's going to get funded. And completed. It's not going to be like, a half-finished game of an adventure variety. I'm so sorry, and for everybody who donated to him, why?
Moving on, Final Fantasy IV is being released for PC, and this is going to hit Steam in the form of the DS remake.
God, they
So Steam will get the slightly enhanced version of the 2008 released DS game, which was itself a 3D rendered remake of the original 2D SNES release from 1991. Gameplay apparently is basically identical. The Steam version supports achievements and trading cards and is available now, priced at $15.99. So $15.99.
Yeah.
And that'll actually join most of them, I think, including 3, 7, and 8.
To be honest, the amount of Final Fantasy games that have been re-released in recent years is kind of depressing. I mean, yes, it's nice that we can have a play to what the past presented to us. But please, Square Enix prices.
We have some interesting news from Edge magazine. Apparently Bayonetta 2 was given 10 out of 10.
By who?
Edge.
Edge gave it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I know it shouldn't be news because, to be honest, Edge has got their nose so far at Nintendo, it's unbelievable. But they've published its review, awarding the sequel 10 out of 10, and it becomes only the 17th game to receive a perfect score from Edge since it launched in 1993. It also gave the original Bayonetta top marks as well.
I mean, Bayonetta was a brilliant game, but it wasn't a 10 out of 10 game. It was an 8, an 8.5, like that.
I've not played the second one. I played the first one, but it was one with way too many commands and controls and different bits and pieces to the level of like Capcom / SNK style game, isn't it? It's like, here's your character with 50 bazillion moves, and all of them are useful somewhere.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like odd, seeing as Bayonetta 2 has only sold, I think it's 63% of its original shipment of games, so they've not even like sold out. They did really poor in Japan compared to Bayonetta 1. I think they didn't even make like 25% of the sales that they did of the original Bayonetta, which is terrible. I mean, it's also because of the Wii U install base, which is pretty low, but still. Another news, Blizzard cancels Titan MMO after 7 years of development, which we talked about yesterday.
Not on radio, and you're a dick, because that was the next piece of news I had up ready.
That's okay. They've cancelled next generation MMO Titan, even though it has not been officially released. It's not been come out saying, yes, this is what we are creating, but it has been a widely known secret that, they have been creating this MMO. And the decision to just chuck it out the window is kind of interesting. It's not the first time they've cancelled projects after working on them for a while. I mean, they cancelled StarCraft Ghost, if I'm right, which they did a lot of concept on and had actual working game engine, and then were like, no, just scrap it. I can't remember the reason. Also, Warcraft Avengers was something else they scrapped. But from a statement from the Vice President of Story and Franchise Development, because they have a Vice President of Story and Franchise Development, Chris Metzen, it's always really, really hard to make these kinds of decisions, he said. It was hard when we cancelled Warcraft Avengers, and it was hard when we cancelled StarCraft Ghost, but it has always resulted in better quality work. No, I don't completely agree with that, but if they think that it was worth cancelling after 7 years, then it says something. I mean, they were reporting themselves as it's just not fun.
Yeah, I mean, reading some of the articles, it's like, they're saying it wasn't fun. They didn't want to associate itself with a particular genre from the people who made WoW and StarCraft.
Yeah, even here he says, I wouldn't say no to ever doing an MMO again, but I can't say that right now. That's not where we want to be spending our time. Blizzard will
especially with Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, Heroes of the Storm, because they've got a MOBA out and they've got a card game out.
Yeah, so they obviously like different genres, but I'm pretty sure that if they came up with an idea for an MMO that wasn't Warcraft, they would run with it. Because,
pretty much.
Come on, Warcraft will end at some point. I mean, literally, it can't keep going because it'll just get stale, sort of thing. They won't be able to keep the same players because they will trickle off like they have been. I mean, it hit its high in the past, but now obviously the peak is gone. I think Blizzard know that they're not going to ever hit the numbers that they did. It was 10 million or something at one point.
Yeah, 10 million was ridiculous.
Sorry, did I actually say trickle off? I thought they were kind of leaving in their millions.
Mm-hmm. They were leaving a lot. Yeah, it's gone from 10 plus to 6 to 8 million now.
Yeah, which is a huge amount. Okay. They're still strong enough that they can continue it, but it won't be like that forever. Every MMO like it before has also died out. It's just something that will happen.
Yeah. Well, speaking about some MMOs, last week they had Guild Wars 2 giving free access, and limited free access, but free access from Thursday. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but you could download the game in preparation for an opening trial from Thursday gone. You would have the same... previous free trial players can use the same account. Let's see, it would finish actually October the 1st, so it's still ongoing, or October the 2nd for us.
That's not bad.
Yeah, trial users will be able to send whisper messages and in-game mail to users on their friends list to minimise exploitation by gold sellers, map-wide chat, trading post-sales, microtransactions, world versus world battlegrounds, aside from Standard Edge and Mist, are also restricted. Users who decide to purchase Guild Wars 2 after playing the trial can buy a serial code or other retailers from various retailers to upgrade their account. So you can just jump on and get a serial code, which is actually quite nice. So it's nice to see that they're actually doing something to try and get more people in, because I tried Guild Wars and it was different. I never got around to doing Guild Wars 2, which is a shame, but it wasn't the same kind of stuff as WoW, which is what I've mostly grew up on with MMOs. And the fact that the company have done like this massive freebie event to get more people in is a nice thing.
Fair enough.
So,
any further news to finish off with?
Yes, actually, I do. Actually, I have two pieces I'll quickly go over. First one. It seems that fans have been making an unofficial Mother 4 game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, this is interesting because Mother 3 was... Oh, God, I don't remember how long ago. But it's not been a game that Nintendo have bothered with since Mother 3, which must have been at least 7 or 8 years ago.
Christ.
Is it one of their sort of like in limbo titles, like in limbo IPs that they could, really do with bringing back for the Wii U, but no, they're not gonna.
Not gonna happen.
Mother 4 is they blandly named it. Apparently, they're making it sort of a stylized like the Game Boy Advance game, just a bit more colourful, as you can now do with sort of pixel art.
Yep.
The basic premise of the story. Crap, I lost it. There we go. Set in an idolized vintage America, Mother 4 follows the story of a young boy and the leader of a biker gang who get wrapped up in a mysterious group of men who call themselves the Modern Men. Ooh. Now, to be honest, Nintendo are very notorious for shutting down things involved with their IP. So I don't think this will last for long. I mean, they're aiming for a Q4 release this year. But I'll keep an eye on it because it'll be interesting. But yeah, I think this will be something that'll pop up with a, was it DRCM? Is it a DRMC? I don't know. And the other piece of news, it seems that a multi-million pound training pledge for creative industries in the UK. It seems that the creative industries, obviously, game studios and the like, and government have pledged cash to fill a skills gap and train work-ready games designers, animators, and visual effects artists. It's called the Next Gen Skills Academy, and it will provide cutting-edge training in a sector worth at least $71 billion a year to the UK economy, apparently. Now, this was announced at the EGX Game Show, which is your gamer show, and it said that because there's just been such a huge gap in the UK's industry at the moment in regards of bringing up new developers. I mean, they have some promising studios and like animators here, but they don't have anything for the future. So it looks like the UK wants to support them. I still don't understand why the games company don't really get like the tax cuts that the tax was it called tax breaks,
yeah,
that other in the entertainment sector enjoy, but it's a step. I mean, apparently initially the aim is to train 1,320 odd people to degree level, including a couple of 100 apprentices. So they're supporting people. It's really nice actually to see.
I've got a quick question for you. It's unrelated to your news article. In fact, it's unrelated to gaming news per se. But Pete, Alex, October the 4th and 5th. Y'all busy?
Is it a weekend?
Yeah.
I guess not. Why?
Because there's a nerd event on in Totten, which is just down the road from here. Featuring such people as David Prowse, i.e. Darth Vader. Colin Baker. I think we know who Colin Baker is. Apparently, Chris Barry and Robert Llewellyn from Red Dwarf will be there. And a load of other people as well, whose names I don't really recognise, but then I'm not that geeky.
Oh.
And yeah, apparently it's going to be £6 for one day, or let's have a quick look, £10 for the weekend. And yeah, there's going to be quite a few nerdy people there. Then you can just go around and chill and meet up with them and stuff like that. Pretty awesome. There's going to be lots of Star Wars people there, apparently.
That's weird.
And Toby Philpott, who was also in Star Wars and Roger Rabbit, apparently. So now Googling him. Who did you play? Or was he an animator? Oh, he was a puppeteer who worked on Roger Rabbit. Awesome. So yeah. So he'll be there as well. Oh, he looks like a nerd. He's a stereotype. That's so cute. And yeah, a nerd event going on in Totten. Who'd have thunk it? It's like on our doorstep.
That's kind of interesting.
That is kind of cool. And you get to meet Chris Barry, who plays Rimmer, as well you know.
Yeah.
among other cast members, including Gordon Brittas from the British Empire, which is amazing. It's a shame we'll never see that again. Such a crap ending. So yeah, I thought I'd just bring a heads up to that. So if y'all not busy, we could go and toodle on down and meet some nerdy people.
Pop down for the day.
Look at the Great Unwashed.
I don't watch that much. I mean, yeah.
I was going to say we could meet the Great Unwashed.
We
meeting
could
the
wash
fans.
the Great Unwashed.
Take a fire hose.
No.
So yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Cash only pay at the door, so yeah, that's not too bad. Southampton Cartoon and Comic Con coming spring 2015 as well. Bloody hell. When did we start getting a Comic Con in Southampton?
Well, we have a anime con, so I suppose we're a big enough city to warrant it, but
I suppose, yeah.
no, we're not a small city. We're not big, but we're not small.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that's it for the news then.
Pete, got anything else for the news?
No.
Pete, you still there?
No.
Oh, he's gone to the loo. He just put up a thing on Google Hangout. PRB loo break. So he probably missed all of that, so he won't know.
Nobody cares. Amateurs.
I know.
Oh.
Well, while he's on the loo then, he can't interrupt us. If we take this opportunity... Watch him interrupt us. You guarantee he'll somehow interrupt us. The next segment.
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio reviews stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
So, Mr. Angel Darksong there, do you have anything for Done and Dusted?
I was hoping to have a movie, but unfortunately I could not find it when I went to... I actually went to HMV to buy a movie.
Netflix?
No, it's not on Netflix. It's old. It's a really
What
old
is it?
movie. I'll find it next week and watch it.
No, come on, tell me.
No, you can wait till next week.
I want to know what it was.
What I want to review,
Yeah.
and I haven't finished it yet, but it's obviously...
So, first impressions review, okay.
First impressions of new and tasty Oddworld.
Yeah.
Odyssey.
Yeah. I, as you know, will be doing The Brave Little Toaster.
So,
And Xavier will be doing his toilet.
what?
I don't mean reviewing, I mean he's literally now doing the toilet. Not pumping the toilet, that sounds wrong.
Yeah, he must be frustrated.
He shouldn't be, he's got a woman now.
That doesn't mean you're not frustrated.
Oh, really?
What are you... No,
Is
no.
is this a thing, Alex? Are you kind of accidentally revealing too much?
No, accidentally, purposely on love.
Anyway, by the sound of it, I think he's back.
Yep.
Sounds like he didn't wash his hands.
Shut up.
Ew, that is true, isn't it? Ugh.
No, it's not.
What are you doing for Done and Dusted, Pete?
I decided to go a bit retro.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
We could meet Chris Barry. I want to meet Chris Barry. I just want to say hi. You were awesome in the British Empire. Shit and everything else.
There you go. So I ended up and I actually went to the website where you could play it. I went out and found a runnable version of Tempest.
Yeah, it's called TXK on the Vita.
No, the original Tempest.
I've got an Atari
From
2600
Atari.
emulator.
Tempest?
Yes, Tempest.
What's Tempest?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Give me a second.
Well, I have a link in the show notes, which I sent to you guys, and you never read.
Oh, he's actually showing me. Come on, Pete, fill the airtime.
God, right, so am I starting then for Done and Dusted?
Oh, he's actually giving me a PSP.
Yeah.
Via.
So Tempest is a very old game. Back in 1981, it was an arcade game by Atari Inc. And effectively, it was what was christened a tube shooter. You are a tiny little
Ship.
which staggers across a grid or a tube or various things, firing down its length at the enemies.
Which come up at you.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the entirety of the.
And it's bollocks hard! just so you think, oh, that sounds like a piece of piss. No, it is not.
Oh, it's this
No, it
thing
really isn't. Yeah.
that's free on PSN at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no wonder I'm not interested in it. No wonder it's old. This is as old as my grandparents.
Yeah. So it's literally the objective is to survive as long as possible and score as many points as possible before the enemies land on your end of the playing field. Because as they do, you start losing your ships. Because it's a 3-life system. You have a little laser that fires as you crawl across the top of it. I mean, that's effectively what your ship got christened. It was like the crawler. And you also had a super use that would usually wave clear for you, which was nice. The maps changed, each and every map, so you had different shapes that you had to go across. And it did mean that they had different tactics, because some were complete spheres that meant that certain enemies would block everything off, and if you ran over them, you died. Some were like little V's or stairs. Some were just like a line with these distance view all the way down that you can see the enemies, and it would speed up and up and up and up and up as you progress through the levels. I had this on the Amstrad.
Oh, crikey. Well, the Amstrad TPC?
Yeah, back on the Amstrad.
Wow.
Playing this was great fun because it was one of those high score objectives.
Yeah.
You just played it to try and get the highest score possible, and then your friend would try and beat you. And that's pretty much it.
Bit like the original Pac-Man. You'd play for the high score, repeat until punch-up.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was up to 2 players. You take alternating turns, and you were just trying to see how far you go. And it's a twitch-based game, really. I mean, you're having to twitch around to get to the right section, this right little channel to fire down to hit the enemies. You have to avoid certain enemies. And the enemies change tactics, because you'll have ones that would crawl left and right across the grid, others that would fly around the grid and zoom up at you, and some that would shoot at you, and some that wouldn't shoot at you. This was a really simple game, but it's very, very addictive. And the getting to the end, or getting as far as you possibly can, because originally there were 16 screens. The sequence repeats with different colour schemes, and also includes invisible levels, which is 65 to 80, as in they were black.
Mm-hmm.
So you were playing effectively on black.
Yeah, you were just never...
Have fun with that.
They were climbing up nothing.
Yep. And the number level stopped incrementing after 99, and a random one of the 16 variations would be... So you would never finish this game, but it was one that was fun to say this is how far I got.
Yeah, a lot of the games then weren't winnable because it was a high score thing. Even DJ Channel's going, how do you not know Tempest? Fucking hell. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's one of those things.
It's one of those games that really is a building block, but it's one of those building blocks that you forget. It's like Breakout.
Yeah, or Arkanoid as some call it.
Yeah, it's very easy to forget the old style games because people clone it and clone it and clone it. And the main reason I bring it up is because TK picked up on TXK. And that was on the PSN. It was free on
PS Plus.
Yeah, PS Plus.
So if you have it, get it. It's on Vita.
Yes, that's the only downside. It's Vita only.
Yeah, well, I own a Vita. Alex owns a Vita. Felix, I think, has a Vita. So you're on that, Pete.
That's more money to spend. But yeah, I mean, it's a really, really good game. There's been various ports done for it. You can play it free online. There is a website that allows you to play the arcade game with the arcade music. I say music. So, the blips and bloops that were the game. And it's really fun. It's something that you can while away the time. And if you've got friends around, for a couch game, it's brilliant fun. You just chuck the controller at somebody and just play away. And I would certainly recommend it to our listeners, especially if you've not played it, because it's one of those addictive, constantly running games.
When you come down on the weekend, we can play it on the Atari 2600 emulator with the Atari 2600 joystick.
Ew, bloody hell.
Ooh, authenticity.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 2013 apparently was TXK, a spiritual sequel from Jeff Minter, the same man who made Tempest 2000, which actually was a sequel. The other sequel was Tempest 3000.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
When we had the 3 frame LCD games.
So that was Tempest from me. What are you guys having?
Well, Alex is reviewing a movie next week. So for this week, he's doing a little bit of Abe.
Oh, new and tasty.
And I'm doing the brave little toaster, as you know from the start of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do we want to start with Alex Rage, or do we want to start with
Rage? You got your head straight?
We watched you play this game.
Yeah, it wasn't that rage-inducing.
Yeah,
It wasn't a fighting game.
It's nothing like,
Blaz Blue.
No, I mean like older Abe's Odyssey.
Abe's Odyssey is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I've bought the PS1 classic version on the PSN. And Abe's Exodus, and holy shit. A little bit of input lag and it makes all the difference.
Oh god, the platforming sections.
God, all of the sections.
Yeah, so New and Tasty came out on the PSN store about 2-3 weeks ago or something, maybe even a month. I saw it and I went, oh, that looks awesome. I saw a video of it that TK showed me. It looks beautiful. I really want it. $17.99, I'm afraid not. So, after telling myself when it comes out in price, I will buy it, purchase it.
He made a pledge.
And it did indeed come down in price to about...
It didn't just come down in price, came down in price and had a discount because of PSN.
Yep. So it came down to about £11, of which I thought to myself, I will happily pay £11. I'd rather pay £10, but 11 I can stretch to.
It's a reasonable... It's only £1.
Yeah, it's only £1. I'm not paying $17.99 for it.
I mean, it's less than a Greg's cup of tea, so it's reasonable.
And it's a lot nicer.
Yes, and it lasts a longer as well.
Yeah.
And won't give you poisoning.
And it's warm, unlike a Greg's tea. But I digress. So I brought it, downloaded it. I played a little bit of it yesterday, actually.
We played a little bit of it today.
Yeah, I played a little bit more of it today.
It's so fluid.
It's so good. I mean, if you've played Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus, then you kind of know most of what's going to happen in...
you know what to expect.
Yeah, you know what to expect in New and Tasty. Imagine you've got Abe's Odyssey, which is a platforming puzzle game where you can't really attack enemies. I mean, you can when you have certain items, but you can't...
You have to have your wits about you.
Yes. You have an ability to possess things.
Which is good.
But you can't always use it. If you use it straight in front of them, they will kill you. And there are also things around the area which zap you if you try possessing anybody, because, your people who you're trying to save are...
slaves.
Yeah, and they have this innate ability to possess things, and it seems that, they don't want
keep that shit under control.
Yeah. So a harmless, painful zap, that's all it is. It stops you from possessing people. But the game's premise is that you are a cleaner, or a slave cleaner, even though you're not really thinking you're a slave, at a place called Rupture Farms, which creates lovely, tasty, meaty treats for everybody on Oddworld. Now, the problem with Rupture Farms is business has been going down. I mean, they've had one of their products go extinct, so they can't produce it anymore. And the few that they have created just aren't selling anymore. So these, what are they called? I can't remember what the chairman are called.
The Gluckens.
The Gluckens, yes. The Gluckens are these big businessmen suited people with no arms.
And cigars.
And cigars. They come up with this idea that, they should start selling Muddican Pops, which are the slaves of the factory.
The Mudakans have lots of meat on them. They should make advantage of this.
Yes. Abe witnesses this and decides to make a break for it, for which he is almost immediately discovered for.
And decides he has to try and take some of his friends with him.
Yes, he decides...
rescue the Mudakans from the Rupture Farms.
But he doesn't decide. That's the thing. He never says that he wants to save anyone who will. If you happen to save people along the way, or you want to, as a player...
I'm really sure in the original FMV, he says, "Get me out of here and help me rescue my friend," which he doesn't say in the new version.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm really sure he used to.
But that's why, because it's a choice. You are actually... Abe's character doesn't want to really just do good. I mean, in the opening bit, he just wants to get out. I mean, you have an incentive that you wouldn't know in the original, which was if you don't save enough Mudikins, they don't come and help you when you get captured. And you die. But
the bad ending.
The bad ending, which is hilarious. But that guy, Abe, didn't help us.
Yeah. We ain't gonna help him.
But it's really fun. It's so fluid. It takes elements from the second game, Abe's Exodus, and implements it in the first one.
Hang on, I'm just gonna play some of the intro video to see if he does say and help us. Oh shit, that's loud.
Yeah. It includes features such as the ability to quick save, which was a immense help in
I just had to be free. And I didn't even know I had a
destiny.
So, get me out of here.
Okay, maybe he didn't.
Yeah. See?
Maybe he didn't. Yeah. Okay.
So he's only after himself.
Yeah.
You have no incentive to save other Mudokons other than your morality.
Damn. Holy shit. Oddworlds, Abe's Odyssey, 100% speedrun, world record, 1 hour, 15 minutes and 55 seconds.
Wow.
Holy sweet Jesus.
Is that with a good ending?
Abe's Odyssey, maximum casualties in 39 minutes and 42 seconds. Holy crap. Holy crap.
But yeah, they've implemented a lot of features which actually improve the quality of life while not sacrificing the gameplay at all. In fact, it's very true to the original.
Yeah.
The level design is slightly different in some aspects because they have new toys to play with, such as the transitions from the background to the foreground, which they didn't... No, they did have in
They
it.
did have, yeah, it was FMV
Yeah.
mostly. And some portions of it were kind of phase in, phase out and things. But no, one of the new features is it's not kind of screen by screen anymore. It's free flowing side scrolling.
Yeah, until you hit another section. It's like, it's section chunks. So you have this huge section where there's like things you can just you can just go straight into the next section without actually having a transition.
As opposed to going screen by screen by screen.
That's because of the limitations of the previous one. Was
Yeah,
screen
the
by
PS1.
screen by screen.
And so now with their lovely PlayStation 4 technology, they can go free flowing.
And this isn't just a HD remake. It is a complete from the ground built, scratch up every element,
Everything
everything.
is remade.
All of the I'm trying to think of the word that they call them. Assets. All of the assets have been created scratch up by a company called Just Add Water, and they intend to do this with other Oddworld inhabitant games.
And hopefully they can then start making some new ones.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Where's the other games in your quintology, my friend?
I believe that's their intention, and we knew the quintology died because of the.
It didn't die. It kind of just went away. They were still kind of
Well, the
planning and working on the other two games.
The company moved on to other things like animation. They didn't really take part in games after Stranger's Wrath.
And after Microsoft screwed them royally over, so that didn't help.
That too. But Stranger's Wrath was actually meant to be part of Munch's Exodus.
Oh, really?
They were going to have a spin-off game for Munch, like they did for Abe.
Huh.
And it will be like Munch trying to... Because at the end of Munch's Odyssey, he gets these tadpoles that he has to, grow and help his people because he's the last of his people.
Yeah.
So he has the only tadpole caviar thing that he wants to release into the wild so they can become...
Repopulate.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not really good with words today. And the stranger was supposed to be helping him in this quest. However, they kind of scrapped it and just went with Stranger's Wrath.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
not too sure why, but it seems to work out. Stranger's Wrath is quite a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But from what I've played of it so far, it's very true to the original, so I love it straight away.
Yeah.
Even everything like the cutscenes of stuff have been redone. As TK mentioned to me earlier, the voices of everyone and everything has been redone.
Yep.
You've got the Mudokons actually have personality now, where before they sort of just only responded with very base things when you talk to them. Now they actually will mumble things to themselves as they work and as they follow you. And, like, you can ask someone to follow you, and they'll say sure, and then you tell them to wait on the spot, and they'll go, "What's up with this guy?"
Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, the Mudokons are awesome now.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good before, but now
such
they're
an
just awesome.
attitude.
They have. I can't wait to see if they do Exodus, because the emotions in Exodus, how they'll implement that would be brilliant. It's like, this one's drunk, this one's depressed, this one's angry.
Well, it's very likely they will do Exodus because they have all of the sort
assets.
of... Yeah, they have the game engine for Abe's Odyssey, and Exodus is essentially Odyssey, but,
with new levels.
Yeah,
and the ability to possess your farts.
God, that's so dumb. Explosive parts. Why could you possess them?
It was brilliant. It was like, oh, I'm going to make this waft over here and blow up these mines. Hooray!
Why?
Who needs bottle caps?
Why?
Because game mechanic, that's why.
Well, the best thing was watching Alex just rage, really, at...
I didn't rage at all.
Yeah, he was quite calm and collected compared to other games.
to other games, yeah. But it was quite amusing just watching the... Okay, I got it, die. Okay, no, now I've got it, die. Okay, I'll try this, die.
Now I've quick saved, die. Oh, fuck.
But no, you're confusing my rage for, like, I don't know, my normal. It's like Angry Joe. It's like he's not raging, he's just angry. There's a difference.
Yeah.
But he has his rant and his rage, which is completely separate to him being angry. That's basically what I am. I'm just very vocal about things, but I'm not raging. If I was raging, you would know.
Oh. It's like that.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
the
that.
way it is.
Boom.
But yes, I would recommend it highly, especially right now while it's on reduction.
Well, it's cheap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make sure you get that shit, because quite frankly, it's worth every penny. I mean, I'd still say even if you're running at a full price, it's worth every penny, because it is an absolutely brilliant remake. And as Alex says, it's not just an HD remaster where they just take the original game and make it look a bit prettier. It is a complete remastering from the ground up. Everything is more fluid. The controls are more fluid. The animation is more fluid. The AI has been improved. The characters are more vocal and more characterization. Everything has been completely rebuilt and improved, and all those irritating little niggles from the original game are pretty much gone. And now it's a case of, if you fuck up, it's because you fucked up. It's not because the game prohibited you from doing whatever it was you needed to do because the engine wasn't quite up to the scratch.
It's not because of controls or anything, because now you have so much control over Abe. You should not have any problems like that.
So it's not the input lag this time?
No.
He is responsive and he is slick and it's lovely.
So it's all your fault?
Yep, it is now. Although they've changed the button to creep, I think, because I'm fairly sure it used to be R2 and now it's L1, and that's confusing. But apart from that, it's all
it's just practice after that, isn't it?
pretty much, yeah. And yeah, love that game, love it to bits. So, anything else you want to add to that, Alex?
No, not really.
He's good. Go out, buy it now. Buy it now, peasant. So, I'll give my little talk about a film I watched. I ended up watching this film because I was doing something else entirely and came across an image from this film, which then took me to a website describing some of the nightmare fuel scenes from it. And I thought, okay, you have my interest. Let's see just how nightmare fuely this is. It's nightmare fuel, folks. If you're a kid and you're young and you watch some of the scenes in this film, guaranteed to be scarred for life. And it's just a simple little film about anthropomorphic household appliances. It's called The Brave Little Toaster. And it's a kind of like a Homeward Bound style film, really, where these appliances are left in an old kind of cottage in the middle of nowhere because their owner has bought a new home and therefore they've all dashed off. And the appliances are waiting for Master to come home, and he never does. Never ever comes home. But despite numerous close calls where they hear a car and think, car! And all dash to see what it was, and it drives past and it's not Master. But the story follows 5 appliances. Four of them kind of go on this incredible journey style thing, and one of them has a brief cameo at the beginning. So there's the brave little toaster himself, or toaster, or slot head, or whatever derivative term they want to use for him. There's a vacuum cleaner called Kirby, a lamp called Lampy, a blanket called Blanky, and a radio, who gets all sorts of names.
Wait. Is the vacuum cleaner called Kirby because it's...
I think that was far before Kirby in kind of Kirby terms.
But why is it called Kirby?
I don't know. Maybe that was a manufacturer of Hoover in America. I don't know. But yeah, and so it follows the 5, and like I said, there was another character as well who had a cameo called the air conditioning unit. Yep. But he commits suicide very early on. Actually, within the first 10 minutes, there's an on-screen death of a character.
No!
As he gets quite worked up about the fact that he's stuck in a wall. To the point of going past nervous breakdown and ends up exploding. And the camera doesn't go, oh, this looks a bit shocking, we'll focus on the other characters' reactions. Nope. You watch him explode before we see the other characters' reactions. It's like, okay, we probably didn't need to see that. We got the idea. As he's screaming about he's not an invalid because he can't move. It's just his function in life. It's like, okay, that's not terrifying in the slightest. And then he sits around dead for the rest of the scene in the background. Which is probably the worst bit. It's like, yeah, okay, he's dead, and we can still see him. Dead.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not clever cameraing to hide him anymore so we forget about him. Nope, he's there, he's dead, he's in the background for the rest of the scene. And it's like, okay. Yeah, so that's the direction this film's going, is it? As the appliances decide that they don't want to spend the rest of their time in the home alone waiting for Master to come home, they're going to go out and find him. Especially, this is the kind of water when they see a for sale sign being erected outside the cottage. So they work out how they're going to power themselves and ended up rigging up a kind of very high-powered battery onto a wheelie chair after some other failed experiments. And then the 5 of them leave the dead air conditioner behind and go out on their epic voyage. This includes scenes of complete pointlessness and some nice musical numbers as well. They have a little journey song, then they have a kind of scary time in the woods as the lamp illuminates an old tree, which scares the shit out of them because it looks like a big scary face. And there's some scenes where they kind of settle down for the night. Then they wake up the next morning, come across some woodland animals and have 10 minutes of completely unnecessary kind of, look at us, this is the LSD section of the film. A bit like Just Can't Wait to Be King and the Lion King, really. It wasn't entirely necessary to the plot, and it's a little bit of a trip. But it ends up with the blanket character nearly getting shredded by rats or mice. So, nearly another death of a character. So early on in the film. Then they escape the animals or leave the animals behind. Oh yes, and during that scene there's also a suicidal flower who seems to be the last of its kind, and it sees a reflection of itself in the toaster's chrome and falls in love with the toaster. And then when the toaster leaves, it goes manically depressed and ends up wilting and dropping its leaves, dropping its petals. And it's like, great, so we've had a suicidal air conditioner and now we're having a suicidal flower. And the toaster looks back and you can see the guilt in its face as it departs. It's like, what? This is not a kids' film! What the actual flying fuck? Seriously? Oh, Werewolfie's coming to channel. The Kirby Corporation is a manufacturer of vacuum cleaners and home cleaning accessories based in Cleveland, Ohio. It's a division of the Scott Fetzer Company, also known as Scott & Fetzer, which in turn is part of the Berkshire Hathaway. The dealers are located all over 70 countries throughout the world, and Kirby's products are only sold via in-home door-to-door demonstrations. Oh, there you go, you see, you've learned something today, kids. Thanks, Werewolfie. He is a knowledgeable, factual person. And so, once they escape the suicidal flowers and killer rodents, they then bed down for the night again, where they have another kind of nightmare fuel section as the toaster falls into a sleep and dreams. And first of all, it's quite a nice dream. There's the master, he's a nice little young kid, putting faces in the chrome in his reflection while the little toaster's making toast. And 2 bits of toast pop up, the master grabs one of them and starts eating it. Then the second one kind of burns and catches fire. All this black billowing smoke comes along and kidnaps the master, as it does. To which then a portal to hell opens.
What?
And a clown fireman comes out of it. Big, scary clown face. Gets right up into the camera and just goes, run. To which the toaster does. The scary demon clown fireman then shoots his fire hose at the toaster. Big tidal wave of water approaches, which then morphs into millions of forks, because as you know, forks jammed in a toaster are kind of a bad thing as well, which then rain down upon the toaster, trying to stab it. The dream then shifts to the toaster hanging onto a bar for dear life, and below him is a giant bathtub full of water, and the toaster is plugged in. Toaster cannot hold on forever, and falls into the water, thus blowing up in a big electrical explosion, which then cuts back to the real world as the lightning storm's happening. To which the blanket, which they were using for shelter, is then whisked away by the storm and potentially never to be seen again. They go looking for him, but they can't go far because they've run out of power and the big battery they've got has died. It's exhausted its juice. So Lamp decides he's going to become a lightning rod to recharge the battery and gets fried. His bowl bursts and it's quite, for a household appliance destruction, it's quite gory in a way. Mm-hmm. And so you think, oh shit, there's another on-screen death of a character as he's just lying there smoking and on the ground. It's like, right. But he's still okay, he's alive in the next scene. Just a bit charred around the edges and his bulb's blue. And he's recharged the battery though, so a bit of martyrdom saves the day. And so they carry on and end up encountering a giant waterfall where Kirby goes nuts and literally goes absolutely schizoid bonkers, starts eating his cord and ends up shorting himself out. So they have to then kind of deal with him. They then try and connect all their cords together into a giant swing so they can try and swing across the other side of this gorge that's come up on the other side of the waterfall. But they all end up falling into the water below and get swept downstream where they lose the chair and the battery. Obviously, without the battery, Kirby can't power, and he was the one towing them, so they end up having to drag him, which they promptly then fall down a kind of slope and into a big mud puddle where they all slowly sink to their doom. And it's only the antennae of the radio that ends up being above the mud when they get rescued by a human, who pulls them all out of the mud, throws them into his absolute giant Bigfoot truck, which was hilarious because that came out of nowhere, and takes them to his spares and repairs shop. And you think, oh cool, he's going to rescue them and repair them and maybe sell them on. Nope. He's one of these people who will say, oh yes, I've got spares for everything, and then dive into the back, rip an appliance apart and grab the spare for it. Consequently, we see the death of a blender, and it's done like a surgical operation. So the guy's like getting gloves on, puts the appliance in a vice, which squeezes it almost to death, rips it apart, cuts its wires and batteries, yanks its power cord out, and extracts the required article, in this case, which is the blender motor, before selling it to the customer. The customer comes back and asks for some tubes for a radio. And the old radio's like, oh shit, I'm a tube radio, I'm doomed. So they try and get away from that. But in between this, you get a lovely musical number, which I think is kind of like one of the villain songs, where all the kind of hotch-botch appliances that seem to have been made by this chap in his spare time. And it's a bit like Toy Story 3, I think it is, where you have all the... Oh, no, sorry, Toy Story 1.
Toy Story 1.
Yeah, with all the kind of toys that the Bully Kids made. It's a lot like that. Except they're singing a musical number about Frankenstein and things, and very done with like big dramatic church organs as well. It's a brilliant number, it really is. And so after that musical number, the chap gets the radio. He goes to start putting it apart, puts it in the vice and everything, until the toaster and his friends rescue him. And they basically stage a jailbreak, and all of the appliances dash out of there for their lives. Things move on at a not quite so Nightmare Fury pace until they manage to get home, conveniently passing Master on the way, who is going back to the cottage to fetch the appliances because he's moving into a college dorm and therefore needs the appliances now. He's stopping living with his parents and he's going to move in with his girlfriend in college. So he's heading back to get the appliances, to which they don't know as they make their way to his house to basically go back into his life. After raiding a telephone directory, they finally get there. And they are met by the new appliances, who aren't too keen on the old appliances muscling in on their patch, especially the fact that the Master has gone to get them to take to college as the old appliances, as opposed to the new shiny appliances, who are still vying for his attention and therefore end up being quite jealous. And so after another musical number, which was another quite awesome one actually, they end up throwing the old appliances into the garbage, who then get taken down to the local tip. This then cues another musical number, where we see old cars and things getting destroyed by a giant crusher while they sing about their past life and how they're now old and obsolete and worthless. And that's the name of the song, Worthless. And the Master eventually manages to find his way to the tip, because he's been given cues by the old television, who's kind of on the old appliances side. And eventually he comes across the appliances and starts gathering them up to take them home. But the big giant electromagnet, who is responsible for putting things into the crusher, doesn't want to see these old appliances leave. He's theirs now, and they're going to be crushed. And ends up taking the Master on board as well. The Master very nearly gets crushed, but the Toaster, who manages to escape the giant magnet, ends up throwing himself into the gears of the machine to stop it working. And
sacrificing himself.
Yeah. And again, it's not one of these ones where we cut away to avoid the gruesomeness. We see that Toaster get mangled by these gears. And it's like, oh, shit. Again, if you're 5 and you're watching this, you aren't sleeping. Ever. These images will stay and haunt you. Because they do not cut away. They go for the gory detail of these appliances. Because, hey, they're only appliances, right? No one cares. Holy shit. The Master does end up rescuing the Toaster, though, and fixes him up. And they all live happily ever after. He even fixes the air conditioner. Although he doesn't take that with him to college. So everyone does indeed live happily ever after. But, holy shit. Nightmare Fuel ahoy. This film is packed with it. It's actually a really good film, especially for its time, because it's, late 80s? And it was made by a load of ex-Disney and Pixar before they were Pixar. In fact, the place where the Master's parents live is in an apartment block, and it's room A118, which, as Pixar fans knows, is something that appears in every single Pixar film. Mm-hmm. And it was an independent Disney production, so it was made by Disney money, but from an independent studio. It was originally pitched to Disney, and they weren't too keen on the idea, but they were happy to fund it if someone else did it. And yeah, it was actually made by a lot of the guys from the place that trains Pixar animators. So hence why that reference was put in. And it ends up being with a lot of Pixar staff before they were Pixar. And for 2D animation, I thought that was pretty damn cool. And yeah, the animation quality is actually superb for a film that's not Disney. You can definitely tell Disney money went into it, because a lot of time and effort was put into this production. And the voice acting is reasonably good. It's from a load of, I'd say, reasonably nobodies. I don't think they really did much else apart from this and a couple of other things on TV. But there was a really good voice cast assembled. No one kind of sounded unlike their character, as you can
Yeah.
And the musical numbers were very good, and some of them were actually very catchy and memorable. So, all in all, it's actually been a pretty damn good film. It's just, holy shit, they could have cut away in some places. They really could have cut away, because a lot of those images we didn't need to see. And yeah, if you're 5, they will scar you. They will scar you bad. Not quite so bad when you're an adult. It's something you can live with. But yeah, damn, for an old film, it didn't put its punches at all. It went for the jugular. Much like Animal Farm? No. Although that kind of in its places. But no, much like Watership Down, where they were more than happy to show you rabbits goring each other up. Very much in the same vein. It's the You film that certainly isn't a You. But if you haven't seen it, I think it's available on Netflix. I'm not entirely sure. I obtained a legitimate review copy, cough, and so I watched it that way. And yeah, for an hour-and-a-half film, apart from the 10-minute scene in the wilderness where the animals nearly killed the blanket, it was a very worthwhile film. And I thoroughly enjoyed it for what it was. And I recommend, if you haven't seen it yet and you want your childhood scarred, why not give it a try? What's the worst that can happen? You waste an hour and a half of your life. No bad thing in the grand scheme of things.
Which is weird, because I've heard of The Brave Little Toaster, but I always thought it was a nice film.
A cute, fluffy family film.
Yeah.
It's a family film! No, it's not. Oh my god. It is kind of cute and fluffy in its own way. And yeah, you do get the heart, you do get the kind of moral that friendship's important and all that. And it's very much one of those things, a bit like the Raggy Dolls, where it's like, even if you are old and obsolete, you still have value. And the musical numbers in it kind of drive home that point as well, because all the songs where other characters are saying about how these old characters are no good anymore, they're kind of classed as villain songs. They're very much sounding villainy, even though most of the time it's the other characters are just in certain circumstances that would make them appear villainous when in fact they're not. For instance, the Frankenstein song, I think it's called something like Cabaret or something like that, or it's a Boo movie. They're very much, it's a song about how they're products of what they are, and you know, you should probably try to get away if you can. So that's not quite villainous, it's kind of sporting, it's just kind of creepy and scary and presented in a villainous way. The Modern Technology song, which I forget the name of, Cutting Edge, that was it, is more a song about how these characters are on the cutting edge, and that's where the best place to be is. So it's very much we're awesome, more than a villain song, but again, it's presented in a very villainous way. And the final song, Worthless, is literally just everything that's about to be junked, telling you about how it's had former glory, but now it's just too old, too obsolete, and needs to be crushed. And these characters very much accept their fate, but because it's presented in the villainous way, you get that kind of aura that, it's the end of the line for the little toaster and his buddies. They ain't getting away. And so, yeah, musical numbers are brilliant. Definitely well worth a watch. Not a cuddly film, overall. It is and it isn't. There are scenes. There are scenes that are cuddly. There are scenes that are nightmare fuel. It's a very well-balanced film in that respect.
Yeah, mostly it sounds like nightmare fuel. That's it.
There is, well, I suppose in the kind of 90-odd minutes of film that there is, there's about 15 whole... Well, I'd say about 15 whole minutes. Not even that, really. There's some kind of tension, especially the kind of the finale. The finale is very tense and full of action, which is a bit nightmare fuel-y. But yeah, there's not that much nightmare fuel in the overall scheme of things. But the nightmare fuel there is, yeah, that's all I can say. It's there. It's nightmare fuel.
So we recommend this if you need a good night's sleep.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So this has been done and dusted with myself doing Tempest, Alex doing New and Tasty, and TK doing The Brave Little Toaster.
Yep.
We now just have enough time to do Doctor Who.
What did you think of it? Wait, has anybody not seen Doctor Who yet?
I'm going to take my headphones out.
Okay. Warning, spoilers.
Plug your ears, Alex. So the show this time round is Angry Scotsman in School.
It's the last of the fluff episodes, apparently.
I hope so.
I'm enjoying the fluff episodes.
They're all right, but the fluff episodes highlight the fact that there were people writing the show who didn't know what to do for Capaldi, so they just made him into an angry, shouty Scotsman.
Which is all he is.
He's good, but it was literally, he was shouting the same lines almost throughout the show, and I just went, yeah, I'll start playing on my phone now, really.
Aww.
I enjoyed it, but I mean, the premise is there's this thing that's going on that you eventually learn that's happening in the school. However, Clara is getting jiggy with the soldier guy.
Former soldier.
Pink. The most unfortunate named soldier in the history of all soldiers. Because, let's be honest, you're a squaddy called Pink.
Yeah.
You're doomed.
I forgot what you review, Pete, for the Undusted.
You really are. And the story seems to tell of her juggling between social life and the Doctor, which we've kind of seen with other... Yep.
But at least this Doctor's a lot better at actually getting people to where they're supposed to be in the time that they're supposed to be getting there. I mean, the other Doctor managed to drop Rose off in the right place, but he was a year late. Sarah Jane Smith got dumped in the right time, but in the completely the wrong place. So, yeah, at least this one's actually good at getting you where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there.
True. But it seemed a little bit wishy-washy pretense to get them to have something happening at the school where she was teaching.
Yep.
Whilst balancing relationship with another teacher at the school. And parents' evening.
Oh, yes, parents' evening. Because, yeah, God, I love parents' evening.
It's got to be parents' evening. And then the random school kid that apparently wants to be annoying.
Oh, yeah. What? I was going to say, you always get one of them, but no, you got a whole school of them.
And this was just honestly fluff. It's like big robot thing comes along. Apparently, it doesn't like technology or time stuff.
Well,
which
I think it sees everything as a threat.
Yeah.
Therefore, it needs to eliminate said threat by destroying it. And the Doctor has this idea of just temporarily poofing him out of the area, which would have worked wonderfully. And so he gets his job as a caretaker and starts wandering around the school, setting up all these little things so he can get the portal to go poof. Fortunately, it doesn't quite work that way because Clara's boyfriend decides it's a good idea to start taking up all these things and present them to the caretaker, thus ruining his plans completely. Therefore, he and the Doctor don't get off on a very good foot. At all.
It was kind of destined to happen, really.
Yeah, well, with Moffat at the helm, of course it was. Oh, they've got to have the argument before they become friends. Because that tired old trope's never been seen before. Ever.
And it didn't really feel... It just felt he was shouting for no reason, and he didn't feel like the idea, when it ended up that he was like being protective father figure, it was more like angry, shouty Scotsman.
Father figure.
With a little side of father figure, yeah.
I definitely got a vein of father figure in there. It's like looking for boyfriend approval. When he thought she was going to be dating the English teacher, and who looked a bit like Tennant, and he was very much, yeah, well, he looked a bit like Matt Smith as well, didn't he? It was kind of weird. And
androgynous doctor styly.
Yeah, and so he was very much, yes, this chap I approve. And when he found out it was the former soldier, he was very, I do not approve, because as we know, the doctor is not a fan of soldiers. They've made that very apparent in this series.
Yes.
I think that was just for the whole, oh look, it's the boyfriend, it's a soldier plot.
But
thus
we also have had
Clara back to her character as a plot point as opposed to an actual character, which has been winding me up since her introduction.
But we have also had the resurgence of the heaven idea, only even more strongly down the throat.
I'm sorry, that can stick around. If it's got more of that chap in it, whose name I can never remember, but he was also in the thick of it, then that can stick around. I like him, he's a good actor. And having him and Capaldi in the same show again just makes me happy in the face.
But it makes me wonder what they're setting up for, because this is now them saying there's a heaven and a god who has an intimate relationship apparently with the Doctor. But the arc was apparently about the Time Lords coming back.
No one ever confirmed that. That was just fan speculation. So you can't say this was what was going to be, because obviously Moffat's not going to be revealing what the series is going to be, is he? And all the fans are going, well, based on this, it's got to be that, hasn't it? To which Moffat obviously turned around and said, doesn't. I should know, I'm writing it, so...
Well, some of it.
Well, he's doing the overall arc, isn't he? And putting in stories. But no, this was a fluff episode written by one of the writers who's done other fluff episodes in the past, so we kind of knew what to expect. And in my mind, he did deliver.
Fluffy.
He did deliver, pretty much what I was expecting. It was light, it was fluffy, it wasn't too much, it was very self-contained. The actual pacing of it was quite nice as well. We didn't have one that had a very rushed conclusion like we've had in the past.
No, there wasn't. There was a steady build-up, which I will give it credit for. Makes the episode at least bearable, but it
was well written, but not necessarily well scripted.
There wasn't enough to grab your attention to carry you through, because you could phase out very quickly.
No, I've found I kept my attention mostly because of the Doctor. Clara, I still really didn't see the point of, as opposed to, oh look, her relationship is key because him, and the Doctor doesn't like him because he's a soldier. Yada, plot point. All focused on Clara, with no actual room for Clara to develop as a fucking character. And it's annoying because every now and again they'll give her scenes where she becomes a character. And it's like, yes, do that more. That was good. I liked that. Where Clara became Clara. That was nice. Make her do that more often, because she's actually quite good at being Clara. When she is plot tool, she really stinks. But when she's being Clara, she's really quite a strong character. Please write Clara more. Stop writing plot point female B. Because, same Martha Jones. Martha Jones suffered that a lot. Everyone said how weak she was, but...
Oh, God, yeah.
She was mostly there because plot. And so when she was actually being Martha Jones, she was actually very good at being Martha Jones. And, okay, she didn't get many memorable storylines and very much memorable script. But when she was given the chance to actually be a character, she actually did that very well. It's just they basically was using her as a shoehorn, as a plot device. And Clara's suffering the same fate. And it's really, really annoying. Because I wish they'd use these, I want to say accomplices, that's not the word at all, companions. In the way that they used to, where the companion would be along for the ride, they would help move the story on, but they wouldn't be a kind of central plot point to it. They would be a companion to the Doctor. This was a show about the Doctor, and so we were watching the Doctor. It seems these last couple of series have very much forgotten about the Doctor, and instead focusing on Clara and how she affects the Doctor, thus pushing the Doctor in very much a kind of supporting character role in his own show, which is really frustrating.
It is weird because it does bounce a little bit, I do agree, between that and her being a character fielding the Doctor and his character, which is what I prefer. I prefer to see the two of them at odds in some way and developing and going forward, because then at least you feel like there's at least a transition and conversation between the two of them.
And when they are kind of interacting and developing their characters together to get the chemistry going, there is chemistry. You see it. They are either at loggerheads or they're in complete agreement, and they just tell me what I need to do, we get this done, and it's all good. But then there are scenes where Clara's like, oh, yeah, well, I've done X, Y, Z, not because Clara thought that was a good idea, but because the plot demanded it. And that really winds me up. It's like, yeah, I'm sure Clara may or may not have done these things, but now Clara's doing them, not because the character would think that would be a good idea, but because Stephen Moffat or whomever has gone, I need Clara to do this to make the story work. That's really irritating.
Yeah. Well, it's not as bad as the Robin Hood one. I will say that. It's not as good as the Into the Dalek, because at least that had some solid bounce around in there. I'll be interested to see how it goes, how things progress.
I'd say it's not as bad as the safe cracking one, the robbery one. That I thought was a particularly weak episode, because it was literally a whole episode where everyone behaved reasonably out of character for very little payoff at the end.
That was a little bit weird, but I liked certain aspects of that. That's the thing. I enjoyed certain aspects of that. At least it had a good pace and kept going. Mm-hmm. But again, I honestly can't say there's been many episodes as yet that have gone, this is what this series is about. This is the Doctor. This is Clara. There's been bits of that in episodes, but none that actually all encompass any of it.
No, exactly.
Kind of thing.
We haven't
if you know
had
what
Clara
I mean.
as a character in a whole episode. We've had Clara as a character occasionally, which is quite frustrating. But overall, this episode, I actually quite enjoyed it. Like I say, it was light, it was fluff. There were some funny scenes as Clara was trying to spy on the Doctor to see what the hell was going on, because he wasn't telling her. And in the end, when she did manage to wheedle it out of him, it was then very much a case of the boyfriend gets involved and nobody will really tell him. And basically everyone's saying, well, the best thing you can do is stay the hell out of the way, because you're only going to piss it up again like you did last time. And then when he ends up saving the day, spoilers, the Doctor has to kind of grudgingly give him some respect. And it's like, okay, so let's hope we're not going to see him accompanying Clara and the Doctor on journeys, please.
No, that will suck. But then next week's is Spiders.
Yeah, next week's the Spiders. I mean, I quite enjoyed Rory when he went on adventures with Amy, because he was a good counterpoint to Amy, and also a good counterpoint to the Doctor.
He had some awesome character. I liked Rory.
Yeah. And there was an occasion where he would be central to the plot, but he was never a plot device.
No.
And that really worked. I really enjoyed the Rory and Amy arcs, because they had character. They had chemistry together as well. And you could actually see them being a couple. And they both had very different points of view and would counterpoint the Doctor in that way. So you end up having this kind of triangle of opinion. And
yeah, it's just a shame they got overused towards the end.
Yeah, that is a crying shame. They should have left a little bit earlier. They should have had their happy ever after much earlier on and get someone else introduced.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, I think. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
But at least they're still remembered, so it's not the end of the world. Even if Batman does say that we could have saved Amy. I love how it should have ended. That's a complete tangent. But yeah, this episode I quite enjoyed. I'm looking forward to next week's episode, because it looks like it's going to be the start of the plot for the series. So we're going to start going a bit darker. It's going to start getting a bit, not grittier, I'd say, because it's still the Doctor, so it's still going to be reasonably light. But
I don't really think we need darker, though. I think really it's a case of we need to have drive.
I think it's kind of going back to like third, fourth Doctor type dark, so it's not going to be dark, but it's going to be darker than the Tennant era, darker than the Smith era, because none of that really got dark. The Tennant had a couple of darkish moments, but he was never the actor to kind of pull that off, whereas Capaldi very much could pull off dark. and it'll be interesting to see how they make him do it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a bit of darkness, especially after the Russell T Davies era where nothing was dark. Everything was bright, colourful, and in fact multicoloured. Pride flags at dawn. So to take it into a darker area for a little while, I think it would be the kind of refreshing break Doctor Who might need. It stops it stagnating.
Possibly. We'll have to see.
I mean, episodes like The Library were fairly dark, and that really worked. And people say that's some of the best episodes in the modern series. So darkness works, and it'd be an interesting thing to say if we can have a short, prolonged period of darkness for about 5 or 6 episodes, just to see how well that holds up. It's an experiment, if nothing else. If it doesn't work, they can always go back to light and fluffy for the next series. We shall see.
Well, I think we're gonna have to see. Yeah, I don't think we'll return to light and fluffy, but we're gonna have to see. I mean, next week it looks like it's going to be quite scary, jump behind the set.
Yeah, I can see
kind of thing anyway.
A couple of jump scares type things, but for an episode.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we've got this week to go. I'll be down Saturday, so we'll be able to have a chance to watch that.
I thought you said you were coming on Friday. I thought, pardon me, I thought you said you were coming on Friday.
Yeah, I'll be down Friday, so I'll be there Saturday.
Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough.
Logic's,
yay!
Tell Alex to put his headphones back in.
It's safe,
yeah,
Alex!
I've already done that.
Okay.
I've just been reading up on Older World inhabitants and their history and everything. It's really rather interesting.
It is.
It's actually really amazing how the guy is basically the people who are Oddworld inhabitants are basically, no, we're not selling out to the man. We want our child to be like something for the people. We don't want to be a corporation. We want. I know they sound a bit idealistic, but they're like, we want it to be more than a corporation. We don't want to be just video game developers. But
yeah,
essentially, because of that, even though they haven't been making games recently until Just Add Water joined them, they've managed to hold onto every single asset of all their games, and their IP is their own IP.
Yep.
And now that new Just Add Water has joined them, and they're creating. Just Add Water actually wanted to make the games, and Oddworld inhabitants agreed and said, well, basically, we don't care if you can't make us loads of money. We don't care if, whatever happens. As long as you can make a self-sustaining business model, then we'll support you 100%, and there'll be no loyalty fees or anything like that. So basically, they said, well, if you can make games work, you do whatever you want with them.
Yep. Basically, here's the reins. Feel free. Just don't fuck it up.
That's pretty awesome.
See, that's how business should work, because then we got awesome products like New and Tasty come out.
And apparently every copy of New and Tasty that is brought, about 70% of it goes back as profit to the... No, not as profit. Sorry. 70% of it goes to Oddworld inhabitants and New and Tasty. Sorry. And Just Add Water.
Yeah.
Of which they are going to put solely towards making new games.
Damn.
So they said that to make the New and Tasty version of Exodus, they need to sell 250,000 copies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not many.
On digital, yeah, it's not many.
To the PlayStation Store, people!
If they sell 500,000, then that's 2 projects they can work on simultaneously. They didn't say what the other project will be yet, but they have a backlog of stuff to do.
Yeah, they have. Looking forward to that.
Stuff to look forward to. I mean, let's face it, we've now in the last quarter, we're going to be seeing a whole load more stuff over the next few months, at least, and that's all before Christmas. So, we got a lot of stuff to come. We got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, it's coming up to the Christmas period, so that means all the games are going to come out. And they're going to go, look, we're all going to vie for your money. Buy us. And we're like, hey, yeah, we can't afford to. We're buying Christmas presents, bitches.
Well, I think we need to pretty much wrap up there.
Okay, you want to end it on Christmas presents, bitches? Okay, if you wish. So, it's a good night from the Xavier.
Good night.
It's a good night from the Angel Luxong.
Good night.
And it's a good night from myself, TK. Thank you very much for watching and listening to this episode of TigerTails Radio. We will be back next week on Monday at 8 o'clock UK time for another episode of TigerTails Radio, which will be Season 8, Episode 29. So mark that in your calendar, folks. We're nearly... Actually, with 52 episodes, we have gone halfway through the series. That's terrifying. But on that note, it's bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.